Hello everyone and welcome to Gierach Farms. My, has it gotten really cold here in Wisconsin. I am filming this here at the end of October and it went from 50-degree days to 30-degree days overnight. Fall is definitely here and winter is fast approaching this year, I think. But the agenda for today is to get the dairy herd out of the barn here starting off, get the barn cleaned up. They've been staying in overnight now for 2-3 weeks, grazing during the day, getting out of the barn, stretching their legs. But man, is it cold. We already got some of the windows on the lower side of the barn put in to help retain some of the heat. The weather is changing quick. We also got some other odds and ends to do here around the farm, so stay tuned for that. But initially here, we're gonna be working in the dairy barn. I just brought a new bale of straw up after Dad finished milking. So we got a nice new fresh bale up here, but I got the gates open up now and we are gonna start letting out the cows. You look at that. Is that a sign of a herd that wants a cow brush? Look at that. A bunch of them try to do that on their way out of the barn. They love that. Thankfully we haven't cut the strings on that yet, otherwise I'd be chasing her off of it. You gotta tear that bale apart, make a mess. Yeah, you want a cow brush. That's what I'm hearing. Look at that. Anyways, we better get these cows out of here before she tears that bale apart. There's another one. Come on, girl. Get going. Get out here. Gutter is cleaned out. Got the barn pretty well scraped up. Mangers are pushed up. All we got left to do is to finish up laying out some new fresh straw, some new bedding. So while I was bedding up in the barn, my dad started cleaning up out here. He started cleaning by our silage pile. We're maybe a third of the way through and had a little waste, so he threw a bucket and a half on there. We're also going to be cleaning the calf barn here, or at least the front alleyway. Keep some of that excess manure cleaned up and out of the way, especially now that it's getting cold here. Looking at the rain gauge, you can tell we've had a very wet week here. It's been a pretty wet fall. Man, the calf barn, they are all ramped up about us moving gates in there. Something new and exciting going on. They're all belly aching. There's an update on those 2 brown Swiss heifer calves, those twins. They are doing great and looking great. Chickens seem to be enjoying this fall weather as well. Check up on the old Mama Swiss brown cow, number 100. She's doing well. We've kept her around to take care of her calves. But we'll get over by the front of the calf barn and help Dad get a couple scoops of manure out of there. Doing there is cleaning up that front lane so they quit dragging that manure back into their bedding pack, so then we don't have to bed as often if you keep most of the manure out and away from the bedding pack. And then that saves on bedding and just keeps it cleaner for longer, makes the use of our bedding more efficient. As you can see, we're still using the old skid steer, and we're going to continue to do that. Dad still loves his old skid steer. He loves how it responds. He's pretty used to running that thing. But it's a good thing we got 2, just in case we would need another one because of a breakdown or something. And skid steers hold their value pretty well. So that's an update on the 2 skid steers. Dad still loves the old one. He's still going to be using that, especially for dirty jobs like that. To continue on with our weather conversation, you know, 3+ inches in the rain gauge from this week. And then we had about 5 inches here in the past month or so before this. It is just nuts how the drought is over and it just switched like that. Now it's very saturated, very wet. The ducks are loving it. I gotta show you that if the river doesn't scare them off. I'll quit bothering the ducks. They have been loving this wet weather. Apparently with this past week of rainstorms, they have been venturing way outside of the yard, even though their hut's back down here in the yard now. They've been really getting off and into the pasture up by the ponds. They're loving this water. And I don't know, even with the colder weather here, they're still enjoying themselves. So there's an update on the ducks, a little update on the weather. Very wet around here, and I think that's been the story with most of the Midwest, that it was a super dry summer, and then just like that, now we're fighting the rain, fighting the mud, which even though it's the wrong time of year, you hate to curse the rain, being that you want it to come back next summer. So there's your update on that. We'll get back to working over by the calf barn, help clean up under the gates, maybe haul the manure, things like that. There you go, a nice new alleyway, nice cleaned up alleyway. Once I get these cattle shuffled around, then we'll be bringing some new fresh bedding in here for them. Super exciting. Nice new layer of bedding. Now we'll close all the gates and get these calves back to normal. Dad's gonna spread the manure now. It's nice that we got this field off, and now we've had a place to haul manure close to home. He just greased it in the yard there and then sprayed the chains while he had it started up out here. He didn't want to do that in the yard. You know, it might make a mess. Especially when it's been wet here, it's been really nice having this field to go on. All week he's been going along this lower edge here, working his way up the valley. He didn't have to worry about going up on a side hill when it was wet and slipping and sliding. Things are really moving here this morning. A lot of making sure the cattle are taken care of, and pretty darn happy, I'd say. And while I have some time here, I wanted to remind you guys that if you haven't already, make sure to go check out GarrochFarms.com. We opened up a store where we are selling these hats. You may have seen us wearing them over the past year now. They're great, high quality hats, super adjustable, fit men, women, small heads, big heads. We're selling them in multiple different colors. So if you haven't already, make sure to go check out GarrochFarms.com, get yourself a hat. And if you've already purchased the hat, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. Next, we're gonna go work on some electric fence. We gotta extend some here for some fall grazing. Before you know it, there'll be snow and we won't be messing around with any of that stuff. So we're gonna do it now while we can. River's excited. Four-wheeler going, right, River? Should be a good time. So we'll be doing a little fencing now this afternoon. So we are going to take this electric fence out here, which splits our hay fields up top from that new seeding piece, which we decided to graze instead of try to harvest the crop off of because it was too dry to regrow. They're pretty much done messing around in here. So we're going to take this stretch of fence out and then go work on a stretch of fence towards the back of the farm. Mom, Dad, and myself all have a handful of posts, a couple short T-posts, and a bunch of those custom electric fence posts. Dad, he's messing around with the wire right now. Pretty short stretch of fence, not a whole lot of messing around. Dad's trick came in handy this time. The wire broke halfway, so if he wouldn't have had his insulator or marker tied on, we would have just been like, oh, we're good, we got it.
And then next year it'd be in the chopper.
Yep.
Or some cow's belly.
Yeah, crisis averted. Okay, so the plan is now on the back side of the farm here, we've been grazing all of this because it will be corn next year, and we're going to extend it here to the edge of the field. I guess you could call it somewhat of a rotationally grazed piece, where we keep giving them a little bit as time goes on, and they're doing a great job clipping it down. So we'll go another step here and probably be about done for the year. It's really coming along. We've got the 2 outside corners done so far, and now we're heading back to link up to where we started off. This project's going super quick. It's going great. So we made our way back down into the yard. It was a pretty productive day so far. Got a bunch of stuff done with the cattle, a little bit of electric fence moved. Very happy that you guys came along with. Thank you for sticking to the end of the video. If you haven't already, make sure to go check out our store. And if you've already purchased a hat, thank you very much. We really appreciate the support, but by no means do we expect it either. All we ask is that in return for the videos, you guys share it and like it and leave your comments down below. That's what we appreciate the most. So thank you all for the support, and we will see you next time.